9 common mistakes that turn creatine into poison. Creatine is one of the most researched and safest supplements in the world, yet it somehow still carries a bad reputation. Not because creatine itself is dangerous, but because so many people use it the wrong way. They rush the dose, ignore hydration, expect instant results, or treat it like a magic shortcut instead of a support tool. When those mistakes add up, creatine can feel uncomfortable, confusing, or simply not worth it. And that's usually when people quit and blame the supplement instead of the process. Today, we're breaking down 9 common mistakes that can turn creatine from a powerful, helpful tool into a miserable experience. These aren't extreme errors. They're small, everyday habits that quietly sabotage results. Once you understand them, creatine becomes simple, predictable, and effective. No bloating panic, no scale shock, no false fear about safety. Just real benefits, used the right way, without unnecessary stress or discomfort. But before we begin, drop your name and the city you're watching from in the comments below. Alright, let's dive into it. Mistake number 1, taking way too much. If a little is good, more must be better, right? That's wrong, and this mindset causes more creatine problems than almost anything else. Many people assume that taking massive scoops or doing aggressive loading phases will speed up results. In reality, your muscles can only absorb a limited amount of creatine at a time. Once they're full, any extra doesn't magically turn into more strength or muscle. Instead, it sits in your digestive system, where it often leads to bloating, cramps, nausea, or urgent trips to the bathroom. That's not your body adjusting, that's your body being overwhelmed. Creatine works through saturation, not shock. It builds up gradually inside your muscles over time, which is why consistency matters far more than dose size. Taking more than needed doesn't make the process faster, it just makes it more uncomfortable. For most people, a simple 3 to 5 grams per day is all it takes to fully saturate muscle stores and unlock the benefits: improved strength, better endurance, and faster recovery. This amount has been studied extensively and works just as well long-term as higher doses, without the side effects. Keeping your dose moderate also makes creatine easier to stick with. No digestive stress, no anxiety about side effects, and no second-guessing every scoop. When it comes to creatine, smarter beats harder. Stay consistent, keep the dose simple, and let time do the work. Mistake number 2, not drinking enough water. This mistake sneaks up on almost everyone, even people who already believe they drink plenty of water. Creatine works by pulling water into your muscle cells, which is one of the main reasons it improves strength, endurance, and recovery. Well-hydrated muscles contract more efficiently, resist fatigue longer, and bounce back faster between workouts. That part is a good thing. The problem begins when fluid intake doesn't increase to match this shift. When you're not drinking enough, your body still moves water into the muscles, but it has to take it from somewhere else. This is when headaches, unusual tiredness, muscle cramps, or a general sluggish feeling can appear. Many people immediately blame creatine and assume their body can't handle it. In reality, creatine is simply exposing an existing hydration problem that was already there, just hidden. This issue is even more common as people get older, because thirst signals naturally weaken with age. You may not feel thirsty, yet your body still needs more fluid. Add creatine on top of that, and dehydration symptoms can show up fast. The solution isn't complicated, but it does require consistency. Sip water throughout the day instead of chugging it all at once. Pay extra attention around workouts, hot weather, or physically demanding days. A simple check is urine color. Pale yellow usually means you're hydrated. Once water intake improves, most of these side effects disappear completely. Creatine doesn't dehydrate you. Poor hydration does. Drink more, feel better, and let creatine do what it's actually meant to do. Mistake number 3, expecting instant energy. Creatine is not caffeine, and that difference trips up a lot of people right from the start. Many expect to take their first scoop and feel an immediate surge of energy, focus, or power like they would with coffee or a pre-workout. When that instant feeling doesn't happen, doubt creeps in fast. People start thinking the supplement is useless, fake, or not for them. In reality, creatine simply doesn't work that way. Creatine works quietly and gradually. Instead of stimulating your nervous system, it builds up inside your muscles over time. As you take it consistently, your muscles slowly become saturated with phosphocreatine, which helps regenerate energy during movement and exercise. This process usually takes 1 to 3 weeks, depending on your dose, body size, and consistency. Nothing dramatic happens overnight, and that's completely normal. One of the biggest mistakes people make is quitting too early. They'll stop after 5 or 7 days and say, "It didn't work," when in truth, it was just getting started. That's like planting seeds and digging them up a week later because you don't see a tree yet. Creatine rewards patience, not impulse. Once saturation happens, the benefits show up subtly. You might squeeze out an extra rep, feel slightly less fatigued, recover faster between workouts, or notice everyday movements feel easier. These small improvements add up over time, but only if you stick with it long enough to let creatine do its job. The key takeaway is simple. Don't judge creatine by how it feels on day 1. Judge it by how you perform and recover after a few consistent weeks. Creatine isn't flashy, and it doesn't shout for attention. It works in the background, steadily supporting your muscles, but only if you give it the time it deserves. Mistake number 4, panicking over weight gain. The scale goes up, and suddenly, panic mode kicks in. A lot of people step on the scale after starting creatine, see the number rise, and immediately assume the worst. "I'm gaining fat. This supplement is ruining my progress." Or, "I should stop before it gets worse." But this reaction is based on a misunderstanding of what creatine actually does inside your body. Creatine increases the amount of water stored inside your muscle cells. This is called intracellular hydration, and it's a good thing. That extra water helps muscles function better, look fuller, and recover faster. It does not mean you're gaining body fat. Fat gain requires excess calories over time, not a scoop of creatine. What the scale is picking up is water weight, not fluff. The real mistake is letting a simple number undo something that's helping your performance. The scale can't tell the difference between fat, muscle, or water. It only shows total weight. So when creatine pulls more water into your muscles, the scale responds, even though your body composition may actually be improving. In many cases, this slight weight increase is a sign that creatine is working as intended. Better hydration inside the muscle can lead to improved strength, endurance, and recovery. Over time, that can even support lean muscle growth, which is far more valuable than chasing a lower scale number. Instead of obsessing over the scale, pay attention to how you feel and perform. Are your workouts stronger? Are you recovering faster? Do movements feel easier? Those markers matter more than a temporary bump in weight. Creatine isn't setting you back. It's supporting progress, even if the scale doesn't tell the whole story. Mistake number 5. Using cheap or sketchy products. Not all creatine is created equal, and this is where many people unknowingly set themselves up for problems. Creatine itself is simple, but the quality of the product you choose matters more than most realize. Low-quality supplements can contain impurities, inconsistent dosing, or poor manufacturing standards that lead to stomach discomfort, bloating, or other issues people wrongly blame on creatine itself. One of the biggest mistakes is assuming that flashy labels, extreme claims, or advanced formulas mean better results. In reality, those extras often add nothing useful and sometimes make things worse. Added fillers, sweeteners, or unnecessary blends can irritate digestion and distract from what actually works. Creatine doesn't need to be complicated to be effective. Creatine monohydrate remains the gold standard for a reason. It's the most researched form, consistently shown to be safe and effective, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do when taken correctly. You don't need liquids, esters, or special delivery systems promising faster results. Those claims usually target impatience, not performance. What you should look for is a reputable brand that follows good manufacturing practices and offers third-party testing. This helps ensure purity, accurate dosing, and fewer unwanted side effects. A simple ingredient list is often a good sign. Ideally, just creatine monohydrate and nothing else. The real takeaway is this: if creatine causes problems, the issue is often the product, not the supplement itself. By sticking to high-quality creatine monohydrate and ignoring marketing hype, you reduce the risk of side effects and give your body exactly what it needs to perform better. Simple, clean, and proven always wins in the long run. Mistake number 6: ignoring stomach warning signs. Your gut always tells the truth, and it's one of the most honest indicators of whether you're using creatine the right way. When bloating, cramps, or stomach discomfort show up, it's not your body being weak or needing time to toughen up. In most cases, it's simply a sign that the dose is too high or taken all at once. Your digestive system can only handle so much at a time, and pushing beyond that limit usually backfires. A common mistake is thinking discomfort is normal or something you just have to push through. It's not. Creatine should feel neutral for most people when used correctly. If your stomach feels off, your body is giving you feedback, not a challenge. Ignoring that signal often leads people to quit creatine entirely, even though the fix is simple. Smaller daily doses are the answer. Taking 3 to 5 grams per day instead of large scoops or loading phases allows creatine to be absorbed gradually without overwhelming your digestion. You'll still saturate your muscles and get the same long-term benefits, just without the unpleasant side effects. Some people also find it helpful to take creatine with food or split the dose across the day. The key takeaway is this: discomfort isn't a requirement for results. Creatine works quietly and consistently when your body can tolerate it. Listen to your gut, adjust the dose, and let the supplement support your progress instead of sabotaging it. When digestion feels good, consistency becomes easy, and that's where real results come from. Mistake number 7: hiding it from your doctor. This mistake causes unnecessary fear, and it scares a lot of people away from a supplement that's actually very well studied. Creatine can raise creatinine levels, which is a waste marker doctors use to assess kidney function in blood tests. On paper, that increase can look concerning. But context matters. When you supplement with creatine, higher creatinine doesn't automatically mean kidney damage. It often reflects increased creatine turnover, not failing kidneys. The real problem starts when your doctor doesn't know you're taking creatine. Without that information, lab results can be misinterpreted, leading to panic, extra tests, or advice to stop supplementation immediately. That fear isn't coming from creatine itself, it's coming from missing information. Blood markers only make sense when the full picture is clear. This is why honesty matters. Always tell your doctor about any supplements you take, especially if you get regular blood work. That simple conversation can prevent confusion and unnecessary stress. In many cases, doctors can adjust how they interpret results or use additional markers to get a more accurate view of kidney health. Creatine has been studied for decades, including in older adults, and has not been shown to harm healthy kidneys when used responsibly. Don't let a misunderstood lab number undo your progress. Clear communication turns a scary-looking result into a normal, explainable outcome and keeps you focused on long-term health instead of avoidable fear. Mistake number 8. Training like your joints are invincible. Feeling stronger doesn't mean you're indestructible, and this is where a lot of people get tripped up. Creatine can help your muscles adapt faster, produce more force, and recover quicker between workouts. That's a good thing. But your tendons, ligaments, and joints don't upgrade at the same speed. They adapt more slowly, and they still need time, rest, and gradual progression to stay healthy. The problem starts when strength increases faster than awareness. You feel stronger, lifts feel easier, reps move faster. So you add more weight, more volume, or more intensity too quickly. Suddenly, joints feel achy, tendons feel tight, or soreness lingers longer than expected. People often blame creatine, but the real issue is rushing the process. Creatine didn't cause the problem. Skipping warm-ups, ignoring recovery, and pushing past smart limits did. Warm-ups prepare joints and connective tissue for heavier loads. Recovery days allow tendons to catch up. Smart progression keeps your body adapting as a system, not just as individual muscles. Creatine supports performance. It doesn't replace good training habits. You still need proper form, rest days, mobility work, and patience. Think of creatine as turning up the engine, not reinforcing the chassis. If you drive harder without maintenance, something eventually complains. Use the extra strength as an opportunity to train better, not recklessly. When you respect recovery and progression, creatine becomes a powerful tool, not a shortcut that leads to soreness or setbacks. Mistake number 9. Treating creatine like magic. This is the biggest mistake of all, and it ruins creatine for more people than anything else. Creatine won't fix bad sleep, poor nutrition, or a completely inactive lifestyle. It's not a magic powder that overrides basic biology. It works as a support tool, not a shortcut. And when people expect miracles, disappointment is almost guaranteed. Many users start creatine while barely training, sleeping 5 hours a night, eating inconsistently, and sitting most of the day. When results don't show up, they blame the supplement, but creatine only amplifies what's already there. If your routine is weak, it has nothing solid to build on. That's not a flaw, that's how it's designed to work. The real side effect here is frustration caused by unrealistic expectations. Creatine enhances strength, endurance, and recovery when your body is actually being challenged. Even simple habits make a difference. Regular walking, light resistance training, bodyweight exercises, or basic gym sessions dramatically improve how well creatine performs. Add decent sleep and consistent meals, and the benefits start stacking up. You don't need perfection. You don't need extreme workouts or complicated meal plans. You just need movement, recovery, and consistency. Creatine then becomes the boost that helps you do a little more, recover a little faster, and progress a little smoother over time. Think of creatine like power steering, not an engine. It makes the work easier, but you still have to turn the wheel. Pair it with basic training, daily movement, and proper recovery, and that frustration turns into steady, noticeable results that actually last. So here's the truth. Creatine doesn't turn into poison, bad habits do. When used correctly, creatine is safe, affordable, and incredibly effective. Most horror stories come from misuse, misinformation, and impatience. Now I want to hear from you. Have you made any of these mistakes before? Or do you want a follow-up video on creatine dosage, kidney myths, or how to take creatine safely after 50? Drop a comment, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.